Greetings from the Independent Insurance Agents of Illinois. I'm Phil Lackman, the CEO of the association. I've been with the association 25 years, 20 of which I spent in the government affairs arena and the last 5 as the CEO. I want to thank Gerald Laudner and all of our partners at State Auto for this opportunity to speak with you this morning about the association and our efforts regarding government affairs and advocacy. The IIA of Illinois is a state trade association of 120 years. We have over 1,000 member agencies located throughout the state. We have members from Gallagher, Horton, Assurance, the largest brokerages in the Chicago metropolitan area, to every Main Street agency throughout the state of Illinois. We have 15 full-time staff members and a budget of about $4 million. We do many things for our members in the area of education, advocacy, communications, marketing, but the foundation of this association and the cornerstone of that foundation has been advocacy. We take it seriously and we devote an enormous amount of our resources to that effort. We have been advocates for our members in the General Assembly, in the Department of Insurance, various state agencies at the state and federal level for a long, long time. Our members expect it and we deliver it every day. I have with me today 2 of our senior staff members, Brett Gerger, our Director of Education and Agency Operations, and Evan Manning, our Director of Government Relations. They're going to provide you some details on some of the efforts we've had, not only in the overall advocacy effort, but specifically related to the recent COVID crisis. Evan?
Thank you, Phil. Like Phil said, Evan Manning, I'm the Director of Government Relations for the Independent Insurance Agents of Illinois. I've been with the association going on 2 years now. Previously, I spent the last 4 years as a budget analyst for the Senate Republican Appropriations staff, and really have enjoyed the time that I've spent here at the association. Like Phil said, as being the Director of Government Relations and the lead lobbyist for the association, we work hand in hand with our company and carrier partners in the state and national trade associations, including NAMIC with former Director Jen Hammer, Andrew Perkins, APCIA with Steve Schneider, Kevin Martin, and the Illinois Insurance Association, as well as all of our company partners too. When the COVID-19 pandemic first started, we jumped right into action. We had weekly, if not daily, conference calls with all of our partners, all of the national and state trade associations, working with them, the Department of Insurance, the Governor's Office, in developing different ways of how we can be helpful to the agents and everyone involved in the insurance industry. For the association, we created a COVID-19 resource page that's available on our homepage at IIAOFIL.org. That's updated frequently with the most relevant information available for the insurance industry specific dealing with the pandemic. We've gone virtual. Our continuing education classes and our pre-licensing classes are all now online. Brett Gerger and Lori Mahorny had our pre-licensing class that offer property, casualty, life and health available for anyone that's looking to get into the insurance industry. And finally, I send out a weekly report detailing all of the most recent developments going on in Illinois that I send on it weekly to our members, and it's available on our website. Some of the most recent developments that we've had dealing with workers' compensation insurance, the feasibility study that's going to be conducted by the Department of Insurance, the Department of Health and Family Services, looking into ways of making health insurance more affordable throughout the state, which means that they're going to look into creating a state-based system. And finally, business interruption. Business interruption has been one of the biggest controversial issues that's been going on not only in the state but nationally. And I want to turn it over to Brett Gerger to talk a little bit more about that topic.
Thank you, Evan. My name is Brett Gerger. I've been with the association going on 2 years as well. My background, a little bit about my background, is I spent 20 plus years at the Department of Insurance. Started in producer regulatory, worked my way up through property and casualty deputy director, and finally ended my career at the Department of Insurance as the Chief Deputy Director over all lines, all products and lines. So we got in, as an association, we got in on the ground floor of this COVID-19. We started with advocacy regarding the business interruption insurance. I personally participated through the facilitation of Evan in a live Facebook Live broadcast with the two chairs of the insurance committees in the Senate and the House, answered all of their constituents' questions, educated them on why we can't go retroactive in the business interruption insurance. We also participated in a weekly call with the national associations of the different trade groups, and we've I think successfully beaten that back to where they're not looking to go retroactive as of right now. What it did cause is this recent legislation. They formed a task force for business interruption insurance. The good thing about that is we're going to be a part of that. I was named by the governor to sit on that task force. It's going to analyze the data that it receives from the National Insurance Commissioner, National Association of Insurance Commissioners, and we're going to make a recommendation to the governor and the legislator on how we should proceed going forward with the business interruption by the end of the year. It's just good through Evan's efforts and the association's efforts that we got a seat at that table to be able to affect change or advocate for our constituents. Next, we moved into workers' compensation. The Workers' Compensation Commission passed a rule that talked about rebuttable presumption. It moved rebuttable presumption from a very narrow class of employee to all essential employees as defined by the governor. We joined a lawsuit very early on that fought back that rule, which led to the Work Comp Commission withdrawing that rule. Then legislation was passed. We were able to sit at the table for those negotiations, and rebuttable presumption did pass. However, it was a very watered down version of what the governor had passed. The work comp rule would have required an employer to prove that an employee didn't get COVID-19 at the workplace. The old system would have required the employee to prove that they got it there. This new, the new law that passed the employer just has to show that they're following the best practices of the Illinois Department of Public Health and the CDC, as well as it established that working from home was not going to be a workplace injury for COVID-19, which was good. And the other thing is that it will sunset at the end of the year, which is nice for that law as well. The other thing we worked on is we worked directly with NCCI and the Department of Insurance on making sure that COVID-19 claims didn't affect their experience mod. And we also worked for making sure that they statistically report COVID-19 claims separately. And then we've advocated for our agents to work with their insurers to separate out COVID-19 claims for their loss runs. So it has less of a negative impact on employers in the state. So that's all we've been doing here, and we're continuing to do more and more every day as the landscape changes. And I'll turn it back over to you, Phil.
Brett, thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, the importance of advocacy just cannot be overstated here with the Independent Insurance Agents of Illinois. The state of Illinois has an open and competitive marketplace. We have hundreds of companies in every market doing business, and that provides access to all of our members on behalf of all of our clients to have an open competitive system and enjoy broad coverages at competitive prices. And we guard that very jealously with our company partners. And we cannot do that without you, State Auto, and all of our company partners. I'd like to have a special shout out to Elise Spriggs, who I've known for many, many years and worked closely with, and also Mark Schlomer, who I've known for several years and have also worked closely with. We appreciate your partnership with us here at the Independent Insurance Agents of Illinois, and we appreciate your partnership with us in our advocacy efforts. I do want to mention we have put together every 3 years, we reissue the insurance industry's economic impact study for the state of Illinois. We commissioned that, and it is done by the Cady School of Insurance at Illinois State University. and it outlines all of the employment and economic contributions and taxes and foundation work that all of the industry collectively does in the state of Illinois. It's a very impactful document for legislators who are regulating our industry and the Department of Insurance, whose senior staff changes with administrations in Illinois. I leave you with one other thought. In Illinois, we have a challenging economic environment, and the insurance industry is a service business. But educating our legislators is more important today than ever because the General Assembly in Illinois has become a more liberal progressive body, and they don't always view insurance as a necessary positive. It's our job to educate them as to how it works and why it is so important and frankly the foundation of some of the economic cornerstones of our economy. I'll finish by thanking you, and on behalf of our board of directors, our members and staff, we thank you for this opportunity to speak with you today. We look forward to working with you in the future, and we are here to answer any of the questions you may have, and hopefully you'll remind the few agencies that aren't members that you're contracted with in Illinois to join their state trade association. Thank you very much.